Hey, thanks for checking out the podcast. This is episode 3 with myself and my boy Jimmy. Enjoy.
Yeah, I wasn't sure because I think Nelson might have been a bit jealous, but I didn't know what to get him because all I've been looking for him is that front guard. I've been looking.
Oh yeah. Nice.
But we got you this. Another NS6.
Another one.
Just the late model one this time.
Oh, sick.
But yeah, actually after that last podcast I was thinking about it and I thought, you know what I really want to do? I want to set you up a GoFundMe so we can get you an NSX.
How good would that be?
That would be tits.
Holy
Until I
shit.
sort of looked at Trade Me and they're like, what, $90,000?
Oh, easy.
But they're not even popular in New Zealand, so I thought, like, surely we can talk them down to 30. I mean, if people got money, give it to a sick kid. But I mean, I thought, yeah, we'll start your GoFundMe. We'll get you an NS6. If worst comes to worst, we'll get you like a 1989 Prelude or something.
Well, what's the word? What would we say on the listing?
Oh, for the GoFundMe.
Yeah.
If little Jimmy's dying of cancer, pay for cancer treatment. But if you've got a few coins left over, go to literally Jimmy's NSX GoFundMe page.
This kid has such a sad life. He's only got 5 cars, and they're all.
Oh, I sort of felt bad because after listening to it back, I thought you're like a bit not upset, but maybe a bit picked on, even though just taking the piss out of the old convertibles. I thought,
no, it's good. I'm used to it.
Let's get you NSX. Let's cut shit. Then you have a good reason to dump 5 cars at the WiMAC.
At the WiMAC, yeah.
At the riverbed, and then hoon off in an NS6.
Seems you
Thought
took out 5 insurance policies on the same day. Interesting.
Now the current value is $600, but it seems to be insured for $10,000. How does that work?
Dude, even if they were insured for $10,000 each, I couldn't even afford an NSX.
AMI, trust me, they pay out for anything. Right. I did have a wee list here of a few things I wanted to go about first. Did you ever get that magazine with the MX-5 versus the Capri?
I was going to, but at the time,
But
I was really broke, and it's still like open on my computer as one of the tabs.
I was really drunk,
So-
and I was like, I'm almost drunk enough to buy it, but I don't want to rack up a big. I've got 2 credit cards, and I've just started on the second one.
No! Oh god!
I know, trust me, like every time like I put something on there, I'm paying off the second one, but the first one's just drip fed. We'll ignore that one. So I was like, I want to get you this magazine, but yeah.
Yep, fair enough.
Oh, hey, I mean, whenever you're into cars, you know, and it's one you wanted, so.
Yeah, true.
Well, it would be easier just to buy the MX-5, would it?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, probably.
And didn't you and Nelson go on a cruise a wee while back? Actually, when I say a wee while back, it was probably like a week after the last podcast.
Possibly. I think there's a lot of cruises that kind of happen.
Oh, I'm not going to research it, but I think I saw Nelson's Snapchat.
Yeah.
But whatever, we tried, but...
Oh, was that... That might have been the one that...
Oh, hang on, he wrote off the Primera?
No. We went to... What was it called? That big ass lake that's like inland.
Oh, Horswell? The West Lake?
No, like a few hours out of town.
Oh, I think I know the one you mean, but I can't think of it off the top of my
It's
head.
that one, it has like a big dam on it, and you have to drive you can't actually see the lake from the township. You have to like drive up this 4-wheel drive track to get to it.
No, I'm not sure about this.
Okay,
It's not Lake Emma, Lake Clearwater?
Maybe it was like Clearwater.
Because one of those ones we used to go camping next to, and you could see the train tracks in the middle of the lake.
Oh yeah.
Well, technology is a wonderful thing, isn't it?
It is. Like Coleridge.
Oh, yep.
That's it.
And what is dammed?
I think so.
Is there a power plant there?
Yeah. Don't know if it's like new or old or something, or...
I don't know. We've been around the country on like car trips and going around places, and I think I've only been over the one in the North Island, but I was pretty drunk, so usual state of mind.
Classic. God.
I mean, that narrows it down. Anyway, let's get into this. Now, I did one a wee while ago, But I thought I'd ask for your opinion just to catch up on a few I did last time.
Yep.
When it decides to load.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So, yeah, my last comment was this car's a bit horny.
Yep. That's about right.
I mean, that's what you really need driving around Kashmir with cyclists, I feel.
Yep. God, I was on my way over here. I drove along the Summit Road to get from Littleton.
Yep.
And were like 10 cyclists in a row around a blind corner. So I couldn't pass them. I just had to like sit behind them. And I was kind of like, I could just speed up a little bit and.
Oh no, right? If you had a loud exhaust and you were in like third or second gear waiting for these assholes to like be polite and courteous on the road, you'd be the guy that would be in the wrong, right?
Yep.
Bastards.
Every time, yeah.
Well, nothing to do with this picture, but today I think there was a glitch in the Matrix because like I was dropping the missus off and this Corolla was urban four-wheel driving. He didn't go off the driveway.
Oh yeah.
He drove like over the gutter. And I'm like, what the f*** is this guy doing? And like, it's in a late model Corolla, and I was just scratching my head like, did you see that? They were doing what that guy's doing. And no after I turned the corner, some stupid did the exact same thing in an early Corolla. And I just turned to the missus and go, there's something wrong with the Matrix today. Like the subfolder, there's a glitch in it, eh?
Yeah.
It's something like out of Grand Theft Auto, cars driving wherever they want. There's like old people just stepping out in front of traffic. Like, no, like several times before that.
Oh man, that reminds me. My old mate, he had a real old Legacy, just like some automatic piece of shit. And
you mean top of the range boy racer car of 2002?
Yep, exactly. It didn't have reverse.
Manual or auto?
It was an auto.
What the fuck?
How the fuck did that even happen? But
was this the same one from the last story where he had to be careful of what cruises he went on in car parks and things?
No. This is different, actually. No, this guy isn't into cars at all. So he's one of those people that never ever looks after his car. He's like, as long as it works.
Yeah, A to B.
Yep, exactly. So we drove somewhere, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's down this street. And turns out it was a no exit street. So he got to the end, and of course he starts his actual urban four-wheel driving.
Oh no!
So he has to drive onto the sidewalk, back onto the street, and onto the sidewalk on the other side, just to turn
cringe.
around.
Okay, one time, like years ago when I was living at home, it was snowing.
Yeah.
I wasn't in my usual state of mind, which was drunk for back then. But I mean, I sort of turned into the street. Now, streets are like branches off to several cul-de-sacs.
Oh yeah.
But so what I thought, like, it's snowing. It'll trip people out if someone like this, they wake up the next morning. There's tire tracks like across like the footpath and their front lawn. So I drove down the street and back up again, driving on the footpath and half on the lawn, like, oh, buddy. And I pull into the gate, and I'm like, well, clearly only one car's come across here. They know where the cars come from that's done it.
Oh, that's classic.
So I had to go sort of in and out of the drive a few times and go up and down the street and try and make it not look too obvious.
Oh, they're like, who did this?
Oh, I don't
Hang
know.
on, let's follow the tracks.
Oh, that was great. That's when I had the CRX because, it started snowing and I was doing skids in fifth gear. No traction.
Oh,
I mean, it had like a pod filter that never been cleaned.
Oh, yeah.
I had like big bore exhaust and I put a chip in there so I had no red line.
Oh my god.
But that's not the reason why I blew it up. I blew it up because the bonnet latch, the cable snapped. I could never check the oil and water.
That's a good excuse.
So I was picking up the X and I was taking it to my place and I was like, it's making some funny noises. So I turned the stereo up and I used to joke about that before I even did this, but I turned the stereo up and no shit, bang, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yep.
Shit.
And I even said I was going to take the long way home, and sure enough, it was the long way home, and I was stuck in the middle of nowhere with a big hole in the block.
Oh.
I kind of wish I kept it now because you don't see those CRXs these days.
Don't. The old boxy one, I assume.
It was it was the second generation, I think.
Yeah.
I was watching a thing on it the other day, so it's not the super square one, but the one that had the blacktop ZC.
That was improved, yeah.
Like,
over the first.
You could have had the VTEC, but no, it didn't.
Yeah.
And then I got drunk and bought an engine off Trade Me, which was VTEC single cam, and a guy had a turbo hooked up to it. I'm like, oh, you dumped that in the CRX? Yeah. And then it turned out that it was only like a few horsepower more than the ZC, so we didn't bother.
Oh, yeah.
I traded in just for a few CRX parts at the Honda Wreckers.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day.
Bugger.
I think I actually took the engine in the back of the CRX. I can't remember now. Yeah, I do remember trading it in and getting rid of it. Hey, that's off topic of the next,
horns, yeah.
Next one. Yeah. This is from the same location. What's wrong with this picture?
Motorcycles.
And there's one scooter in the motorcycle section, and we look at the back there.
The guy doesn't want to. He doesn't want to be grouped into the same group as a moped.
Mine's a 110cc. I don't want to be with a 50cc scooter.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Oh, there's always good times in that car park. Just heads. I know that's harsh, but I mean, the amount of times there's always a good time laughing at traffic under there.
Oh, God.
And here's another one I found on my travels.
Oh.
Now, like last time I said, you probably can't blame the Toyota for parking there because you don't know who parked on the other side to force them over, but all I'm saying is he's straight up not going to have a good time getting into that car.
Yep. See, he would be fine if he had a convertible. He could just jump through the top.
Dukes are hazards.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's probably enough recapping from the last one. Oh, except for this one. Boys can understand all these gauges, but not their women, and someone replied, but they actually tell us what's wrong.
Yeah, hey.
My analogy that I used for this was terrible. Like, I'm not even going to go there. It was bad, but...
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably for the best.
Oh, I'm not even going to go there. I'm just going to get in trouble with the missus. And so here's one of these smart cars with a bloody sprint car wing on top.
Oh, jeez, I didn't see that. Okay. Yep, I thought it was just a dark picture.
Oh, do you need it tilted or something?
No, I can see it.
But for one, it's murked out, so clearly he doesn't want his face seen in such a box. And he's got a sprint car wing on top.
I mean, more power to him, though.
Oh, hang on, what would Nelson say? Hashtag commit. Commit to it.
Yep. I mean, maybe it's an electric car, and it's just a giant solar panel.
If that was I could live with that if that was the case.
Yep.
All I'm thinking is that this washing machine on wheels is going to take off like the Flight Brothers or whoever they were that discovered flight.
Yep. Oh man, that reminds me. I saw some other real good smart car content. This guy's like, £20 if you can J-turn my smart car.
Is this on YouTube or something?
Yeah, I can't remember where it was, but...
Yep.
Yeah, so off this guy goes, hooning down the street, gets to the end of the street, starts reversing. As soon as he turns the wheel, it just flips straight away.
It was a smart car.
Yeah.
Not one of those stupid three-wheeled Robins or whatever.
It was definitely this.
God, they really are a washing machine on wheels.
Yep. Aren't they like rear-engined or something?
No, because there's no room in the back, so unless they're electric or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there was some really weird old small car that had the engine in the back just because it didn't fit in the front.
I think I kind of know what... like those wee bambinas that look like little bubbles where you hit the door at the front of it.
Maybe, I don't know, but...
The internet would be nothing without people like this.
Yeah, definitely.
This guy has won the internet for today. Right, now this one here is a Skyline, but there's nothing wrong with an R32, but the bolt-ons on it.
The bolt-ons?
Well, I think we spoke about bolt-ons last time, like, gotta have the screws, or not the screws. But I think what I'm saying here is, how do you feel with a 32 with bolt-ons?
Yeah, it's a bit... It's not really necessary, I think. Like, if you were going to do it at all, I think you just flare them a tiny bit.
Aren't the GTR guards wider or something slightly? It's getting more technical, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know. Today's episode is brought to you by Nelson. Hashtag commit to it. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen an R32 with steelies and bolt-ons, but I mean, it's not me.
No, I don't think so. But I mean,
You
if
ne-
people want to do that,
Hey, that's it. Hey,
whatever.
different
More power
strokes,
to them.
different folks.
yeah,
But I think in New Zealand you need it's got to cover the tyre.
yeah.
Oh, and here's another one. It's just a WRX this time.
Well,
At first, I was actually really disgusted when I saw it, but now I'm sort of looking at it again. Like, it kind of works when you look at the curves. I'm on the fence with this one now.
I think it's definitely better, but that might be just because of it actually matches the color of the car.
Yeah, I guess it distracts from the ugly tow hook at the back.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no. When I first
Still
saw
don't
it,
like it.
no. When I first saw these two, I was like, oh hell no! And this is charging $100. I mean, I got a mould to make a set, and I'd only be charging about 60 if I was chucking them on Trade Me. I wouldn't pay more than 50 or 60 on Trade Me for them.
Yeah.
What a
yeah.
rip!
Or maybe he's selling some top quality
Carbon
stainless fittings or something. That go
dry
with it.
carbon fibre with the stainless steel bolts, nuts, and washers. Oh, and the piping to go along between the bodywork and the flare itself.
Oh, yeah.
What the is this?
It's a video.
It is. Why? Oh, we got to press. Oh, yeah. This was that Civic that I was looking at.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we're watching the unedited version. So, do you know what this motherfucker got? I got this on my phone, and this one was advertised at Turner's for $7,000, and it got just over 6, or was it just under 6? So I mean, what does that tell you about Turner's? Turner's, they don't know shit.
Yeah.
They buy it off you for next to nothing, and then they'll try and charge you through the moon. I nearly bought one at auction. The old man, I think I said he sold his hot rod, and there was a RX-3 sedan. I said it's going for 19. It went for like 26, I think, or 24. And then there was a little one of these, and I only had about $800. I stuck my hand up, and then they tried to bump it up to 15, and I said, "Fuck off! I bid 800." And you just pointed at me. He's like, "Oh, I'll go talk to the owner." Yeah, I probably should have bought it for 15. I'll tell you what though, I was
God, this one looks nice.
oh, it's virtually immaculate. At first, when I first saw this, I was like, yeah, I'd pay $2,500 for it, but every shot here, I can't see anything wrong with the bodywork, and the interior is pretty mint.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe that. Fucking. But I suppose it's better. I've got the picture somewhere. The guy that wanted 13 for one of these.
He's dreaming.
It may have been the same one, because we went to the swap meet 2 years ago. I went with the missus, and I was like, oh, that's got to be worth about $2,500. And it's like, no, it'd been garaged for like 15 years, and they wanted, some serious zeros. They wanted North Island money for cars.
Gosh.
That's the problem now, with Trade Me and that. People want North Island money for South Island cars.
Yeah, yeah.